Hello, everybody. Welcome to another charge to Nigeria and Nigerians. Today, I'm going to talk about our governors again. Everybody is in trouble because they are going to be exposed. I'm talking today about how our governors are killing Nigeria. Now, this information that I'm going to give to you today is actually official. There is a document that is called Remuneration Package of Political, Public, and Judicial Office Orders. So Nigeria government has a standard for this. And this is why I always say it is not restructure we need reconstruction. Because this remuneration package needs to be, reassessed and repackaged and reviewed. So it's a package for political, public, and judicial office orders, and it's under the Revenue and Mobilization Allocation Fiscal Commission that is in Abuja. Of course, they have their head office there. So they look into the allowances which the governors are entitled to. So that is the document. This is the official. We're not talking about the one that is not official, the money they are getting. Last time I spoke about the security vote. That is not official money that the governors are getting. These are just the ones that, are official. So, of course, some of these allowances that we're going to see here, some of them are every month, like periodically, or every 6 months or something like that. Some of them are periodical. But there are some of the allowances that these governors are getting that are not monetized. There is no amount of money that is put on them. For example, provide cars for the governor. Providing cars for the governor, they don't put the car could cost 10,000 now. It could cost 100,000. Another car could cost 100 million. There is no specific money that is on top of it. So a governor is entitled to 3 or 4 or 6 or 10 cars. That's what they will provide for him. And, according to the preference of the governor, really, a lot of provisions that are in that document is according to the preference of the governor. So if you are a governor, you tell the government or your state to provide for you everything that you need according to your preference. That is a way to bankrupt your state. That is a way to bankrupt the country. And that's why I say these governors, with the way they are living, and they are not to blame for it. It is the whole structure, the entity of Nigeria is set up in a way as to provide only for the few people, for the few elites, the political elites, the few people who plan to eat the national cake for themselves. The way the country is set up is not for the general masses. It's just for a few people. So governor's salary is made of 3 items. Basic salary, then, of course, basic salary, everybody has basic salary. But why should they include in the allowances of a governor what is called hardship allowance? Hardship allowance. You want to tell me that the greatest hardships in Nigeria what the governments are going through? You want to tell me that the governors and the senators and the politicians are the ones who are going through hardship in the land? Hardship allowance. Now I can understand that there was something like hardship allowance for the colonial masters. Because for them, yes, it was hardship for them to come from Europe and live here with us and live, it's a great hardship. So they needed hardship allowance. But you, Uncle, you that was born in one village or in one Ajekule or something there, now you are getting hardship allowance. Didn't you leave before you became governor? You didn't go through hardship. Are the governors and the senators are people who are going through hardship in Nigeria? What about the market women? They don't have hardship, eh? What about school children that are going barefooted? They don't have hardship? What about people who are dying in the hospitals without provision, without anything to provide for them, no medicals and no medications? They are not going through hardship? Can you imagine a country paying hardship allowance to all the citizens? But here is the reversed situation. It is the citizens that are paying hardship allowance to the already rich and wealthy governors. Hardship allowance for where? Is it the mansion you are living in that is giving you the hardship? Is it the retournée of cars that you have that is giving you the hardship? Is the hardship coming from all the allowances and the salary that you are getting? Is that where the hardship is coming from? Because this hardship allowance is not just for governors. Hardship allowance is also for senators. Maybe it has gotten to local government. You see, the elite, the few elites in Nigeria are killing this country. That's why we are the poorest country in the world, because the people don't care. Nobody cares about the ordinary citizens. All the thing that could be taken is being taken. So there are three, categories of numeration or allowances or bonuses for the governors. One is basic salary. Second one is hardship allowance. Third one is constituency allowance. But are you sure the constituencies even know that they are giving them allowance for their constituencies? Of course they don't know. Most of them will not know, because it goes to the governor. According to that, commission that I spoke about, RMAFC, the commission, a governor is entitled to a monthly basic salary of only 180,000. 180,000 naira, like it's small, right? But there are other allowances and bonuses, and there are other services that are provided that are not monetized. You remember I told you, to the taste of the governor could tell what he wants, and the state just provides it for you without putting a price on it. But he's also entitled to a monthly hardship allowance, which is 92,000 naira. And monthly consistency allowance. What is consistency allowance? Consistency, that you are consistent. Doing what? Consistency allowance of 648 million, or 628,000, I think. 648,000. That's $2,000 or so. 648,000 consistency. Consistent in what? So this add up to a monthly salary of 648,000, or an annual sum of 7,782,000. So it's 7,700,000, 7.7 million naira is what they receive as yearly salary. But that is not all, though. That's not all. That's just the beginning. There are other allowances that governors that governors receive, but they are not counted as part of the basic salary that we just told you about. For example, 10% is called leave allowance. So they go on a leave, they take 222,000 and 370. So 222,000 as leave allowance. That's per annum. They have to go on leave, and you need to pay them for it. And this money is coming from you, from the citizens of the states that are already poor. Should a governor so desire, he is also entitled to 400% motor vehicle loan. So it's his own desire. He can say, I need allowance I need a bonus for cars. And they will give him 400% of his salary. So whatever his salary is, it will be multiplied. It will be 400% of his salary just to buy cars. That comes to 8.8 million just for cars and for car allowance. When a governor finishes his term, completes his tenure, he's entitled to 300% of his salary, right? As severance allowance. To sever his activities or his duty, which amounts to 6,670,000. Then, what is worrisome to me is some of these governors then will go to the Senate, and they will keep on receiving what they are receiving from the states, and then go to the Senate and go and receive even more there. Some of them will become ministers. Some of them will become, the basic idea is that they are the elite, and since they are the elite, they go and just sit on the commonwealth of the nation and begin to divide it upon themselves, either as governors or as senators. But the whole idea is that the commonwealth of Nigeria doesn't belong to Nigerians at all. It belongs to the few elite. This is the kind of madness that is going on. But you cannot see anything like this in a Western country. No Western politician will, even Western politicians are poor. They cannot do anything like this. They are poor. Yet, okay. But this is the kind of problem that we have. However, the majority of the allowances that these governors are entitled to are not actually monetized. So the majority of the money that comes to them is what they get in provision, that the state must provide this for them. This means that the state makes full provision for such items, even without putting cash to it, to the taste of the government. So the government could say it needs some things, for him to serve, for his service. Like I spoke about already, about, the cars he needs. Or he could say, okay, let's talk about those cars. Let's say he has 3 or 4, 5, 6, 10, 20 cars. The car will be fueled. And for them to be the fuel for those cars every day, you don't monetize it. It's just like operational. So there is no salary, though it's not coming from the governor, it's coming from the states. Or let's talk about maintenance. Those cars are being maintained or repaired or by the states. So the budget just keep on providing for these kind of things. But let me tell you some other expenses that the governor. So when this governor that I really respect, Makinde, also his name, Sheyi Makinde from Oyo State, the other day said, "Oh, how can governors be receiving such a small salary? Because the salary is too small. That's why they are stealing." But I don't expect that from him, because he should know better. He should know better that if you are not a thief, you will not steal. Nothing will push you to steal. But that's firstly. Secondly, they are already receiving so much other benefits and allowances that the basic salaries is nothing. It's chicken change for them. For example, the state still pays for the governor to have a special assistant, and all the expenses and the salary and all the things that are connected with that, the state budget has to take care of that, even though that is not in his allowance or in his salary. Apart from special assistant, the state will still have to sponsor and provide him, the governor, with a personal assistant. Special assistant, personal assistant, then some of them are many, sometimes it's not one, sometimes it's not two, and the state has to provide for that because of the government. See, all the things. For example, if you are a businessman or you are just an ordinary individual, what kind of money should you make to be able to have all these assistance? But one of the most humiliating and shameful thing that the state government and federal government in Nigeria does is that they pay the governors, or they give them allowances or make provisions for the governors to have domestic staff. So that is the government. The money of the government is being directed to take care of slaves, and these slaves are the same citizens. So in a normal country, in a civilized country, every citizen is supposed to be elevated. Every citizen is the government is supposed to work for the citizens. But here, the government is paying the governors, the politicians are paying themselves to keep other citizens low, to keep them as maids and domestic staff. It's shameful, because the whole commonwealth of the country is meant for this kind of elite people. And the rest of the nation are just like domestic staff, like slaves. Then the state will still have to pay for entertainment allowance. What is entertainment allowance? You have allowance for personal assistant, allowance for special assistant, allowance for domestic staff, allowance for entertainment. Then you have what they call allowance for utilities. Then you have security allowance. Then you have allowance for newspapers and periodicals. What is happening? And you say that salary is small, the basic salary. But by the time you add all this together, this is like a whole industry. This money could have translated into, can you imagine how many hospitals this could build? How many children, how many child mortality this could have prevented? How many maternal mortality this could have prevented? How many good roads could have been provided in every street, in every local government, in every state? How many schools could have been renovated? How many classes could have been built? How many hospitals, world-class hospitals could have been constructed? Can you imagine how much houses could have been having water supply and toilets? Do you know that only 15% of Nigerian homes have toilets? And then these governors are living large and taking advantage of all these things, killing the country and saying they are serving the people. Can you imagine how many houses will have been provided electricity for and electricity meters for? So how many homes could have sufficient money, not living on $2 or $1 a day, but how many, sufficiency would have come to the family of everybody? You see, these people, these governors are part of the people killing Nigeria. And we need to look at a way to reconstruct our country. We need to look at the fact that our governors must become our servants. Our governors must see themselves as ministers. Ministers means servants. They must, our politicians must see themselves as servants of the people. You must go to for politics only if you want to serve. If you don't want to serve, don't go there. If you want to just live large and big, don't go into politics. Let's begin to do like in the West. I mean, the politicians ride on bicycles and they go to serve. That is what we need, and we need, voices, the population, the voices of the people, the voice of the pressure groups, social organizations, NGOs. We need to begin to raise our voices and say no, thus far and no more, for the love of God, church and nation. Peace.
Thank you so much for watching our videos. Now we need to spread this word, and we need to do it together. For that to happen, we need your help. Just 5 little steps that you could help us to spread the word. Number one thing we need you to do is to like the videos. Please go like this video right now. Number 2, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Number 3, we need you to press and click on that notification bell. You see the bell? Go press on it. And number 4, we need you to go comment. Write your comment, good or bad. Just write what you feel. Number 5, share on every platform. Share on Instagram, share on Facebook. Just share and spread the word. Thank you so much. All right, blessings.